Day number 6, talk radio. I know you've been having fun this week. At least if you've been doing the exercises, you should start noticing and having more fun and playing a little bit, diving in, experiencing what it's like to live in the imagination and not just let the outside world trigger you and jostle you. Yesterday, we talked about the person that you're with, an individual, noticing how they're imagining meaning. The 4 days before that, right? You were experiencing yourself imagining meaning. What I want you to do now is turn on the TV or listen to talk radio for 10 to 15 minutes and listen to the news. Just watch the news, listen to the news, and notice how you're imagining meaning, how we live in a mostly imaginal world, and how when you're imagining meaning on autopilot, how anxiety, frustration, desperation, and poverty are the result. You know, we live in a world where they'll be like, oh, the economy's tanking and business is going to be terrible for all the people. Or there's a pandemic afoot and the world's going to end. Or political unrest. Whether it's real or not, it's not the point. Remember, the circumstances isn't what's triggering you. It's what you're imagining, the meaning you're imagining about the circumstances that is causing the anxiety, that's causing the uncertainty, that's causing the confusion. Notice, the news is going to tell some story that you're going to add meaning on and you're going to bring down. It drains you. It's not the news that's draining you, it's the meaning that you're adding to it. I mean, it's so funny. People watch the news and they get drained and just think that the world is going to end immediately. They don't even take the time to just step away and maybe even go and see somebody else's point of view and see how another person's point of view could be just as valid and just as draining. Because people get victimized by the news as opposed to using it as information that can fuel them towards their goal, whatever that goal is. Right? I don't want to get involved in politics. I know we're living in a very contentious time. I just want you to notice, what meaning are you adding? I have a buddy, when this pandemic happened, when it was first hitting, I think we were a couple months in, and he started seeing how what this pandemic was going to mean for his business, for his career, that he decided he's an entrepreneur, and it's like he's providing something that before the pandemic people were just up in arms for. They just wanted it, and now everything's slowed down. And I remember us having that conversation. I was just like, well, what you're saying doesn't mean anything. It's not true. It's like, if this is really what you want, you can have it. You're providing something that for the rest of time people are going to want. But because he was so mired in the news, he couldn't see it because he was triggered. He was drained from the state of the wish fulfilled, which was loving business owner, loving service provider, loving entertainer. And we'll get into this more as we progress, but really what we're doing today is notice what happens when you overhear conversations of other people. Notice what happens when you hear the news. And notice how those aren't what's causing you to be drained. what you are imagining is causing you to be drained. I imagine meaning all the time. I live in a mostly imaginal world. And when I imagine meaning on autopilot, anxiety, frustration, desperation, poverty, you name it, is the result. That's it. 2 times 5, 3 times 3. Oh, actually, not even 2 times 5, 3 times 3. I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying that. Actually, take 10 to 15 minutes to watch the news. I would even say take 5 minutes to watch MSNBC, take 5 minutes to watch CNN, and take 5 minutes to watch Fox News. And just see who's doing the draining, them or you. Peace and hair grease.